Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the 8th chapter from your supplementary book Vistas, and the title of the chapter is Memories of Childhood. There are two different articles. First, the cutting of my long hair, and the setting, we too are human beings. The writers in this chapter have used their pen name. What do you mean by pen name? You must have heard by the people saying Shahid Ambalvi, Ludhianvi. These are the pet names. You can say pen name, the name by which a writer is famous, is known to the public. So, this chapter presents a good account of the two autobiographical episodes pertaining to the lives of two women. Both the women belong to the marginalized communities. While looking back to their childhood, one can understand their relationship with the mainstream culture. In the first account, there is a Native American woman born in the late 19th century, while the other is by a contemporary Tamil Dalit writer. So we will start with the first article, Cutting Off My Long Hair. The writer is Gertrude Simons, but after growing up, when she became a writer, a critic, she used her pen name Jitkala Sa. So we know her by this name only. So Gertrude Simons or Jitkala Sa was taken to the Carles Indian School, where the first day, as an embarrassing one, it was the author's first day in the land of Apple. The ground was covered with snow and the trees were leafless. The first bell rang for the breakfast in the morning. The sound of the bell and the clatter of the shoes were annoying to the sensitive ears. The narrator was becoming tense and troubled. The girls were marching into the dining room. These were the Indian girls in stiff shoes, tight-fitting dresses. She felt ashamed that the Indian girls were more indecently dressed than she. She was made to walk in a line of other Indian girls. She did not know the table manners. A small bell rang. Her blanket had been removed from her shoulders. She looked around. She was feeling very uncomfortable. She pulled out her chair and sat on it. And all others were standing as they were waiting for the second bell. As she began to rise, second bell rang. All slipped into their respective chairs. She too sat back in her chair. She was being watched very carefully by a strange woman. She felt very miserable. The third bell rang. Everyone picked up his knife and fork and started eating. She did not know this eating manners. Late in the evening, her friend Jodevan gave Jitkala Sa a terrible warning. She had overheard. The pale-faced woman talk about their long and heavy hair. Along her people, short hair was worn by mourners. Shingled hair was worn by the cowards. Jodevin requested her to submit and discuss their fate. But Chitkalasa decided not to submit but struggle. When no one noticed her, she crept up the stairs and entered a large room. The windows were covered with dark green curtains, but she decided to fight back. She got herself hidden in a dim room under the bed. Everybody looked for her and called her name. The sounds came nearer and nearer. Then women and girls entered the room. They searched her everywhere. When they bent and saw her under the bed, she was dragged out and carried downstairs and tied fast in the chair. She faced extreme indignities. She cried and resisted a lot until the cold blade of the scissors touched her neck. At last, she gave in. She surrendered, and her long hair was shingled like a coward's. No one came to comfort her. She cried for her mother, but no one came to console her. Now she was only one of many little animals driven by a herder. So, how she had to surrender, how she faced this indignity, how she faced the difference of culture, different of nations, nationalities, is all about cutting off my long hair. Second article, We Too Are Human Beings, is written by Bama, again the pen name of the writer. She was a student of third class. She had not yet heard people speak openly of untouchability. Certain small events of her life made her feel that she was an untouchable. The distance from her school to home could be covered in 10 minutes, but she usually took half an hour to an hour to reach there. She watched all the fun and games that were going on in the way. She walked very slowly and watched every scene: shop, snake charmer, man paddling his cycle to win the prizes, and so on. We can keep on counting. She liked to see the Mariata temple, the Pongal celebrations, the statue of Gandhi, and the sweet and snack stalls. Everything stopped her and attracted her attention. She also stopped to see the processions of the political parties, street play, or a puppet show, or a stunt performance. All these sights stopped her from going home. Then she would see people selling vegetables, fruits, and sweets. One day, the narrator saw that a threshing floor had been set up near her street. The landlord sat there to watch every activity. The people of her community were at work. They were driving the cattle in pairs round and round to tread out the grain from the straw. She stood there and watched. Just then she saw an elder of their street coming along from the direction of the bazaar. He was carrying a packet which contained something like vadai or green banana bhajia. He held it by its string without touching it. The elder went straight to the landlord, bowed low with respect and regard, and extended the packet towards him. The landlord opened it and started eating whatever was there in the envelope. On reaching home, she narrated this incident to her elder brother, Anna. But her brother was not amused. He was not at all pleased. He explained that the man was from a low caste and the landlord was from the upper caste. Everybody believed that they would be polluted if touched by the low caste people. This incident made her sad. Now she didn't want to laugh. She could not understand how they could get polluted. She was in a rebellious mood. She wondered why poor people showed much respect to such cruel people. She thought that they too were human beings. From here, this is the title of your second article, we too are human beings. It mattered little that they had amassed some money and the poor should bow before him. They should not bow like that. They should work on their fields, take their salary, and that's all. Bama's elder brother was studying at a university. He had come home for the holidays. He would often visit the library to borrow books. On his way to home, one of the landlord's men came up behind him. He asked, "Who are you, Appa? What's your name?" My brother told his name. Then the other man asked the name of the street where he lived. This would help him to know the caste, because people used to live in the different areas with different caste. Anna told all these things to Bama and added, because we are born into this community, we are never given any dignity. We are stripped of all that. But if we study and make progress, we can throw away these indignities. So, study with care and remain ahead in the class. People will come to you of their own accord and attach themselves to you. Try to be friend with you. Work hard and learn. These words made a deep impression on the narrator. She devoted herself to her studies and stood first in the class. Many people became her friends. Thus, hard labor helped Bama fighting against inequality. Now the question rises. Even after 73 years of independence, should we believe in casteism? Or should we regard anybody that they are from low caste and we are from the upper caste? No. When God gives birth to a human being, He just sends a human being on the earth. Not a Hindu, not a Muslim, not a Sikh or a Christian or a scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe people. No. He has just made a human being. We people on the earth distribute, divide the people according to caste, color, creed, religion, even nationality. That should not be there. What we learn from this chapter? That human being under the skin irrespective of the color of the skin, is the same. The soul under the skin is the same. We all are human beings. So now, what important advice is given to Bama by her brother? This may be an important question from examination point of view in board. You may get a short question from this chapter. So the advice given by Bama's brother to her was that we should study hard, we should try to be ahead at first in our class, in our studies. People will definitely come close to us themselves. They will try to attach themselves with us. So education is the only tool to throw away all these indignities. So that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.